So I had about a year in a concrete factory labouring, and then I went to Sutton Colliery. I did my face training at Cresswell Colliery in Derbyshire, which is the Clown, Cresswell area. And then I went to work at, went on the coal face at Welbeck Colliery, in the developments, in the headings, tunnelling. And then I went to become a deputy at the pit. And then when I packed that up, I became a single parent to 2 boys. Whilst I was single parenting, I did a little bit of volunteering at the local Citizens Advice Bureau, and that sort of put me on path to where I am today. You know, trying to help people with their problems and solving stuff. So, yeah. So I worked in some homeless hostels as well for care leavers, children that's left for care homes and foster care. I love that job, to be honest. I think that was probably my favourite job, working with young people. I went from disliking these young people because they're out bloody being nuisances and in trouble with law, thieving, to actually, when you get to know them and know the journey they've been on from being in care from being 2 or 3 year old, then you actually think, well, these kids have had no love, they've had no role models, they've had no mentors. You know, all they want, I mean, all they've ever had is adults shouting at them all their life, not giving them any love. So there's no wonder they've turned out like that, and it upsets me, that does. It bothers me.
Do you think that's played a part in why you're so passionate about sort of your morals and whatnot now as a politician, having worked those jobs where you've seen it first?
I mean, an MP said to me, "Are you the real deal? Because you've had all these different experiences, and you know, and we weren't rich when we were growing up. You know, mum and dad were, you know, I guess if they looked at my parents now, if you could go back in a time machine, they would say we were in poverty. I mean, we didn't think we were in poverty. We just thought mum and dad went to work. Yeah, they didn't have much money, because they had to pay for the food, pay rent and stuff like that. But we didn't feel poor. But we didn't have posh things. We didn't have many clothes. You know, we had vegetables in the garden. If we was lucky, we got a weekend skeg in a caravan. That was probably once every couple of years. So no, we didn't think we were poor. But by today's standards, we would be classed as in poverty. But no, we were happy.
And what would the 10-year-old Lee Anderson think of where you are now?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. So, 10-year-old Lee Anderson wanted to be a footballer. I used to play for my school team and the district, and I was a good footballer.
What position did you play?
I played up front, obviously. A goal machine. I found it easy, football. I found it easier than other kids, so I excelled at it. Because I think football, I've a lot on it in your head. And you know, if you can think quicker at that age, then normally you're going to be a pretty decent footballer. But then when I got to 13 and 14 and 15, I sort of, you know, as lads were developing, I didn't develop very quickly. You know, I didn't shoot up till I was about 16, 17. I found it more difficult, and I sort of fell out of love with the game. We went out with mates and we were smoking and drinking and, you know, and chatting lasses up and stuff like that, which is, you know, again, part of growing up. And I just had I thought having, but sport's got to be fun as well. You've got to enjoy doing it, and I enjoyed going out with mates and getting up to mischief more than I did football, so I sort of fell out of love with football, and then fell back in love with football a little bit later by watching it, and then watching my kids play football. And I missed that. Because my kids are 33 and 29 now. And I miss getting up on a Saturday and Sunday morning, taking them to the local team as 6, 7, 8 year olds, you know, not very good to watch, but great fun. And every single parent thinks their kids are going to be the next David Beckham. And the chances of that happening are absolutely zero.